Today's lesson is over E to IE stem changing verbs in Spanish. Okay, stem changing verbs have regular AR, ER, and IR present tense endings. The stem is the only thing that changes. The stem of the verb can be found after the AR, ER, or IR is taken off of the infinitive. So, for example, I have the verb hablar. If I take the AR off, habla is our stem of that verb. Okay, so that is the stem. So because these have regular AR, ER, and IR endings, I just wanted to quickly review the AR endings, ER endings, and IR endings of verbs in Spanish. So for AR endings, remember you have o, as, a, amos, ais, an. For ER endings, you have o, es, e, hemos, eis, en. And then for IR endings, you have o, es, e, imos, is, en. Okay, so these are our regular AR, ER, and IR endings in Spanish. Okay, so E to IE stem changing verbs. The E will change of the stem to IE in all forms except nosotros and vosotros. So sometimes we call this the boot, okay? So the E is going to change to an IE in the yo form and the tu form, in the L form and the ellos form, okay? Which forms a little boot. So, for example, querer, the E will change to an IE, okay? We took off the ER because that's our ending, so we're left with the stem. So the E in that stem changes to an IE, okay? So it becomes quier instead of quer, all right? So again, the E of the original stem changes to an IE. Okay, so let's take a look at the verbo querer, okay? All right, so we are left with our normal endings, okay, for an ER verb, which is o, es, e, hemos, eis, en. And we don't do anything to the stem in the nosotros or the vosotros form, okay? So the yo form, tu form, L form, and ellos form all have that stem change. So the E changes to an IE in all those forms. So the yo form is quiero, tu quieres, él quiere, and then nosotros and vosotros again are regular. So nosotros queremos, vosotros queréis, and ellos, ellas, ustedes quieren. Okay, so that becomes our boot. Okay, so we draw a little boot around those. Those are the ones that will stem change. All right, so there are some other E to IE stem changers. We have cerrar, empezar, entender, pensar, preferir. And for the ones that have multiple E's in them, there's another one that's on your vocab list, encender. Whenever you have multiple E's, it's always the next to last E of the infinitive that changes, or the last E of the stem. Okay, so it's never going to be the first one, it will be the second one after you take the ER off, okay? So, Paula prefiere el vestido azul. Paula prefers the blue dress. So notice that I did not change the first E, I changed the second E. So also one more thing, notice that whenever one verb follows another, the first verb is conjugated and the second verb is left in its infinitive form. So if I wanted to say, do you want to watch television or read a book, I would say, ¿Quieres mirar la televisión o leer un libro? I'm not conjugating mirar because I'm asking, do you want to watch? Mirar means to watch, so I'm leaving it by itself. I'm not doing anything to that verb.